Hi, I wanted to demonstrate for you page 22 in Upper Hands Piano Book 3, playing 6th, 7th, and major 7th chords. So, if you started with the C triad, to find the 6th, all you need to do is move your top note up a whole step, and that's the 6th. Now sometimes you'll find people playing both those notes using their 5, their 3, their 2, and their 1 fingers. To me it has a bit of a muddy sound to it, and it's a little more difficult to play. And so you really have the option of leaving out the 5 or playing it. But here I'm going to just be demonstrating playing without it because I think I like the sound, and I think it's just a very optional note. Whether it's there or not doesn't really change the characteristic of the chord too much. So we're just going to play these chords without the 5th. Alright, so here's the C chord. Now we're going to go up a whole step to play the C6th. Now to find the C7th, you go a half step up from the 6th, right there to B flat. And to find the major 7th, you go up another half step. Once again, you can add that 5th in if you want, but for our purposes here, we're just going to omit the 5th. Alright, so we've got a C, C6th, C7th, which is also called a dominant 7th, and then C major 7th. And in music, this one is written C Maj 7, and this one is written C7. Okay, now let's do it in G. I'm going to go down here to G. Here's a G triad. We'll go up a whole step to play a G6th. A half step from the 6th up is the G7th. And now here is the G major 7th. Notice that the major 7th, the top note is a half step below the octave. So that's how I always remember the major 7th, is that the top note has to be 1/2 step below the octave. Okay, now let's try it in D. So here's the D triad. Top note moving up a whole step to the 6th. And then you move up a half step to the 7th. And another half step to play the major 7th. And in A, here's an A major triad. An A6th moves up a whole step. A half step up from there is the A7th. And another half step up from there is the A major 7th. Now let's try it in E. Here's an E triad. E6th, whole step above. E7th. And then E major 7th. Let's skip down to the D flat and try it in D flat. So here's a D flat triad. We're going to go up a whole step to make it a D flat 6th. Here's a D flat 7th. And a D flat major 7th.